Well, as you know, on the 17th of February, just a day short of 4 weeks ago, the trustees announced their decision regarding the closure of Cistercian College Rossgrave. That decision was made very reluctantly. It was made because of two principal factors. Number one, the falling enrolment in the school, and number two, the financial issues that the school has and would have in looking to facilitate any transition to alternative models. In the light of that announcement, there were many heartwarming expressions of support for the college and for the monastic community of Mount St. Joseph Abbey. And we're very grateful for all the support that we have received from within the college, from the wider college community, and indeed from beyond. The CCR Action Group was then formed by parents and past students and has done a huge amount of work in a very short space of time to establish the demand for 5-day and day boarding options in addition to the present 7-day boarding that we offer in Cistercian College. And equally, the Action Group has worked very hard to secure pledges of funding to facilitate the transition to a new model and to make possible the significant capital expenditure required in the college buildings. I want to read you extracts from 3 letters that I received over the last few weeks. The first one is the only letter that I received from a student, and it was written by a first-year student, written 4 days after the announcement. I won't embarrass the wonderful CCR student who wrote the letter. You'll know who you are, but I just want to read 3 paragraphs from it. I would like to take this opportunity to express how myself and my fellow colleagues felt after you informed us of the devastating news on Friday. I have been part of the Cistercian community in Rossgrave for the past 6 months. I chose this school for a good education and to come away with friends for life. Like all first years, it takes time to settle in. And now that we are at the stage where we have decided to make it our home, you have decided to take these opportunities away from us. As a student in the Cistercian community, I feel that we have a right to finish out our education in Cistercian College, Rossgrave. I hope that you will take our wishes and thoughts on the reasons why Cistercian College must stay open. The next letter that I want to read you an extract from is from a parent of 2 students in the college. It was the mother who wrote this letter. I love the school, the warm, intimate community that it is. Not alone will my children make good friends, but so have we. I would also place great value on the religious ethos at the school. I hope that the boys will carry this with them and that their faith will provide support for them throughout their lives. So thank you for everything so far. May God direct and guide us all. I hope that the school will survive with the love and support of the wider CCR community. The third letter came from a lady who doesn't really have any connection with the school, though, as you know, her father was a past pupil. She wrote this letter last week. Dear Father, I enclose a small donation towards fundraising for Rossgrave College in memory of my father, who died long ago in 1978, and who spent a short while as a boarder in the school. My late brother was an English convert, and I am heading over to London for a brief holiday tomorrow. Please God, and will pray for your community in Westminster Cathedral in the city. Please pray for me too. And she enclosed €5. That's just a sample of the huge expressions of support, of love for the college, and indeed of the desire and the commitment to keep it open. So on Tuesday, we received from the CCR Action Group a very comprehensive submission to the trustees regarding the future of the college. In light of the submission to the trustees from the CCR Action Group, the monastic community has today decided that Cistercian College will remain open and extend The college will remain open and extend its enrolment options to include 5-day and day boarders. The trustees will immediately begin the process to appoint a board of management. This is one of the most joyous days in the history of Cistercian College. We have witnessed a small miracle over the past 4 weeks. The decision to close was an extremely difficult one for the monastic community to make. And so we are understandably overjoyed to be in a position to announce that the college will remain open. And we look forward to a bright future for CCR with the monastic community, board of management, staff, parents, students and past pupils working together for the school that means so much to us all. I want to pay a very special word of tribute to the work of the CCR Action Group. I remember when we lost the final in 2011, was it? Somebody wrote on one of those blogs or boards that we're told to pay no attention to, but somebody wrote, very sad for a school. It was their last chance to win the cup, and the school will obviously close. Well, we showed 3 years later, or 4 years later, that, in fact, we could win the cup. But even after we won the cup, that line that I read on the blog or the board remained always in my mind, that I felt, well, we may have won the cup, but perhaps the school is also, or is still going to close. But the determination of the CCR Action Group, their tremendous work, commitment, belief, we should even say faith in the college and the college community has shown that, to use the words of the Facebook page, they could save CCR. Those who are on the Action Group know how much time and effort, sleepless nights and endless hours they have put into their proposal. I don't want to name names because they worked as a team, but one person deserves a very special mention, and that is Ronnie Culleton. Throughout the whole process, from the meeting in Birr 3 weeks ago last night, right through to this morning, Ronnie has managed to keep a very level head, a man of the utmost integrity and honesty, who never gave any false promises, never said that it was definitely going to be done, but certainly gave his all to make sure that he and the Action Group and all those supporting the Action Group would give it their very best. And so, to you, Ronnie, and to all the group, thank you very much for the tremendous work that you have done. Of course, we have to say the work is only beginning, and there's a lot of work to do. The Action Group was comprised principally of the parents of the current pupils and of past pupils. But I want to say a word now to those who are here in the school day in, day out, and that is to the staff and to the students. 4 weeks ago, it appeared that for 70 people, their future in Cistercian College was very much in doubt, or indeed was going to come to an end. That's notwithstanding the huge commitment of the staff and the hard work that is done in the college day in, day out. But I want to say to you as a staff that we have to recognise the tremendous work that was done on your behalf. And if the college is to continue and to survive and thrive, to use Peter Murray's words, the college will only continue, survive or thrive with your continued dedication. And every member of the staff, wherever you work, have to be conscious that at every time and every day, in every situation, you are giving 110% of your time. Because people fought and worked, and people have made a commitment and taken a leap of faith to make sure that the college will continue. And it will not continue without the commitment of every single member of the staff. Because the staff are those who have been here before, who have been here up to now, or who are here today and will be here in the future. And it's very important that the continuity of what made the college so great, of what makes it so wonderful today, and what will make it and keep it excellent in the future, is carried by the staff, who need to have that commitment. So we need to be very conscious of that, and I say that as someone who is fully aware of the demands that the staff work under, but equally aware of what a privilege it is to work in a school like this, with such a tremendous group of parents, of students and of past pupils, and everyone needs to play their part. And secondly, to the boys. Boys, CCR, care, courtesy and respect, we might say. We think of the first one, care. Care for the environment that you live in. I don't ever want to be brought up to a dormitory again to be shown damage done by students. I don't ever want to walk along a corridor and see bags thrown or books left aside as if you have no care for the environment that you live in. These people on the Action Group, the monks, the parents, the past pupils, and all the wider community and the staff are working for you. So you have a commitment to make sure that as we go forward, you are conscious every day of showing that care to the environment in which you're here to learn. Courtesy. I don't ever want to hear a story of a boy who is bullied by another boy, of a boy who doesn't show respect to the staff, who doesn't show the courtesy to their parents or to anybody involved with the school. Because that is what makes CCR great, is that a parent or a visitor or a past pupil or a monk or a staff member can come up to a boy, and the boy is able to address him or her in a courteous manner and be conscious that they are a CCR boy. And thirdly, respect. Respect for the ethos of the school, not just in the church. It's not about, the ethos is not just about religion. The ethos is about what's on the floor, what's on the walls, the corridors as you walk through them, that you have that sense that you are like the eagle with your feet on the ground but your head in the air, that you are showing that respect to everyone, the respect that is their due. And so principally, I'll say it again, I don't ever want to hear of one incident of bullying in this school. Every boy, every staff member, every parent, every person that you meet here has the right to that care, courtesy and respect. And if this school is to continue and to thrive, it will only do so because you live those 3 words: CCR, care, courtesy and respect. St. Benedict says, St. Benedict tells the abbot that when he's organising a monastery, he should arrange things in such a way that the strong have something to strive for and the weak are not discouraged. So let us remember that, whether it's a parent, a past pupil, a staff member or a student, in every case, in every context, we need to be conscious that if we are going to make this school the great school that it is and to maintain it as it is, then we need to be conscious that that influences everything that we do. And so to conclude, I want to thank and acknowledge again the tremendous work and dedication of the members of the CCR Action Group, and to thank them and all the parents, past pupils, college staff for their support and commitment to Cistercian College. I assure you of the prayerful support of the monastic community at this time and into the future. And thank you again for the support that we have received from so many. God bless.
Lord Abbot, Reverend Fathers, students, parents and colleagues. 4 weeks ago, the college trustees announced that they had reached the most difficult of decisions to discontinue the operations of CCR. This was the most difficult news for all of us associated with the college to hear. The warm wishes, kind support and overwhelming messages that thus stemmed from this announcement garnered a response that very few in Irish education have ever witnessed. To a man and woman, the determination and spirit to ensure that CCR remains a key player in the Irish educational landscape has borne fruition, and this has allowed the Lord Abbot to make today's announcement. The fight back starts today. Everyone associated with CCR, both inside and outside this room, will now play their part to make this new model a success and to ensure that the status of CCR is protected for future generations. I wish to express the college's deep gratitude to the monks of Mount St. Joseph for what was the most difficult decision to make a month ago, and for the decision announced today. All of us are greatly appreciative for the courage and vision that you have shown in today's announcement. To all the people who have worked so hard in the past month to make this possible, we will be forever grateful. To Ronnie Collison and to all the Action Group, the work and effort put in was indefinable, and we are most grateful. We all now have a role, we all now have a responsibility, and we all now have a duty to do our very best. It will require change and vision, knowing that the result is another generation of students who will be able to call themselves CCR Passmen. And I've great honour now to call one of those Passmen to address you, Ronnie Collison.
It's been a pretty emotional one, and you can never tell when it's going to hit you, so apologies for that. But look, a month ago, things were very different, and we've had a phenomenal journey in the last month, and it's been amazing. And I suppose what I would recommend everybody do is make lots of noise about the fact that we all helped save the school this month. Past on, my dad was here, my brothers were here, and my sons are here, so I've kind of been embedded. And the contrast I draw between our time was, and my brother said to me one day, I don't remember getting a choice. We were sent, but we made the best of it, and we look back extremely fondly on it, and it certainly did us no end of good. But the boys are here now, much more in the democratic process now, much more involved in that process, and the parents are so embedded in it. And certainly the energy I would have received or got in the last few weeks was from the parents who had nothing to do with the school prior to even 4 months ago. and how they were willing to fight on their backs to keep this place open. That's a very powerful message, I can tell you, and it certainly drove all of us on in a fantastic way. So, everybody and all the goodwill and the good messages were fantastic, but the power and the energy of that single, if you like, element of it was fantastic. Our group have been amazing, but there are wider people, and I'm sure I won't be able to mention everybody, but Peter Murray and Sinead Lawler, Inez Heenan, Barry Lampkin, Lurleen Duggan, Martin Mullen, Anne Rabbit, Fergal Cox, Graham Ross and Willie Burns were particularly involved in that group, and I want to express my incredible gratitude and my great pleasure for having worked with such an unbelievable group of people. I can safely say I've never spent time with such a self-starting group of people who covered everything. I'm very one-dimensional, as anybody who knows me will say. I keep my thoughts very simple because I'm not able to cope with too much. But as we were certainly trying to drive certain agendas, others were carrying on with their own agenda, even to the point to say that Barry Lampkin took it upon himself to get in touch with the Leinster branch to say, look, is there anything that the Leinster branch could help us with on this 20-month rule as a potential easing of some of the restrictions for people to come here? And not that we have a result of that, they said, no, we won't be changing any rules because you need EGMs and AGMs, but they have said, look, we will be as supportive as we can be, because nobody wants to see Ross Gray close. Nobody. And I certainly, in my travels, came across anybody with the most interest in that. And we had a wonderful session on Tuesday night with initially a small group of the monks up in the guest house, and then we got to meet the whole community, and we were blown away with the effusiveness and the enthusiasm and the energy and the engagement of the community. I know now, after a month down the road, that had to be an incredibly difficult decision for all the monks to take, to decide to close the school. And I know that they were all engaged. Once they could get comfortable with what we proposed, they were able to come back with the right result, and we're very grateful for everybody for that. Said that if you want to criticize a man, you should walk a mile in his shoes, and of course the beauty of that is you're now a mile away and you have his shoes, so you're fairly safe. But we learned a lot. I learned a lot in the last month, and I could see how the decision was arrived at, and I have to say, I cannot say enough good things about Richard and his support and his forthrightness to give us what we needed to do this. And ultimately, he said, you're going to have to come back and convince the monastery that the school has a future. But really, he was saying, convince yourselves, folks, because it's all well and good showing us that you have a pot of money to throw into the same black hole we've been putting money into. We need to see that the school can survive, and you can't come and convince us unless you convince yourselves. And that's what the group set about doing, and we got a very warm reception to that on Tuesday from the monks, and we're very grateful for that. Couldn't have been done without the obvious support of the past men as well, who all would have been terribly devastated to think the school might close, but they're not the primary stakeholders. The primary stakeholders here are the students, the parents, the staff, and the monks. I've learned that in spades this last month, and we would love all that support, and we want to engage with that wider community, and certainly that's something that excites me for the future, is the way we can tap into expertise. 60 or more people who said, look, I cannot offer you money right now, but I have skills and I'd be delighted to get involved. If we can harness that, and I don't mean that as kind of hot air, I mean it genuinely through subcommittees that can bring a certain specialty and expertise to the school in the future, that is so exciting. It really is. And Jorge Gomolia, as the president of the Past Pupils Union, and Mark Ryan, as last year's president, were very supportive, and they made a serious call to arms to the past men, which was responded to in a fantastic fashion. And we will be forever in their debt as well for making this a reality. And then I'd like to mention Andrew Cody, who did stay in the shadows quite a bit, but Andrew set up the Facebook page. Probably had no idea how big it was going to be, but the statistics in terms of views and likes and everything else that goes on in social media, it blows me away without even having any great knowledge of it. But Andrew did a phenomenal job, and as I say, was never out in the front line, but always working on it, making sure that all the posts were the most positive and encouraging posts that were possible, and again helped to achieve this result that we've arrived at. To finish, maybe I'd say, and I know that Richard has put it to me, this is for you. Sorry. I feel a bit like Tom Hanks at the end of the movie of Saving Private Ryan. Earn this, lads, earn this, okay? This is for you guys. Never be the cause of anybody's disquiet or unhappiness in the school. That is all I ask of you. Don't go winning senior cups for me or winning being super student. Don't make anybody unhappy here, ever. Okay? That's what I ask of you. Thanks.
again. We now have the first